Oh, hello, hello.
To unlock it,
That's
Our
when I
audio was
get
off this entire
upset.
time. Oh well. Keep going. Keep
Practice,
going.
practice, practice.
So yeah, I
So
mean
that's
that's the
my
biggest thing is that their response to this though was that it was the most downvoted it was the most downvoted Reddit post in history by several
That was impressive.
hundred, and it's like
that's
this is the
very
thing that I
impressive.
don't get is that Reddit very I mean I'm a big person on Reddit. I'm a big person into Reddit.
Yeah.
And Reddit definitely functions as a hive mind, but it's a hive mind you don't want to piss off.
And I mean,
Like it's
It's a good way to measure the pulse of the gaming community, give or take. It's still just the
Yeah.
section of it, but it's gaining more of that community, so it's a good sample.
exactly, and right now the Reddit community is saying fuck you EA.
Yeah, so I've seen headlines. What was the EA's response? They
that there will be
I mean-
Sort of fixed it,
changes
right?
constantly
Yeah,
being
there will
made.
be yeah, there will be changes to the loot system. And no, everyone's like, okay, they disabled it out of the gate. Yeah, we did it, Reddit. And then they were like, oh, and by the way, this is gonna be back at some point.
yeah, but
And they're just like, oh,
the fact that they're just they suspended it for the near future, it means they're
Right.
doing something. And
right. And that's, I hope that somebody got their attention. Although, did anyone else see what the EA Star Wars community manager tweeted? Which Twitter's
No, I
becoming
have
an
not.
awful
What did
thing
he-
for everyone. But he tweeted, and this is like the worst thing you can tweet as a community manager. The armchair developers on this internet.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
There was an argument being made that was a different context
he's-
though.
Yeah, he said it was taken out of context. And I don't know if that's necessarily true or not, but I know that it was something that a lot of people took their pitchforks out about.
Yeah, well, that's
and
because
were
they
just
already
like-
had him out.
Yeah,
But still,
that's
though,
true.
in
They
their
were like-
defense, like as you know, someone who is on the internet, he knows he's affiliated with EA.
Yeah.
He should be watching what he says, and I feel like that wasn't really thought out as well as it should have been.
That argument only goes so far. If somebody
Yeah.
says they said something and then it was taken out of context, and if they don't have any sort of history being part of the situation, and people just kind of jumped on him for it, I'll usually give him the benefit of the doubt,
I mean,
unless he
yeah.
doubles down,
Right.
then fuck him. But I'm tempted to believe that I can't even remember what the story was, but he said it in response to something else, and then people jumped on him because he's associated with EA. So
Yeah.
I'll give him a pass.
Yeah. A quick side note though on the downvotes and everything. Last time I checked, it was at negative 294,000
Shit.
downvotes.
What's
That's
second
a
place?
lot of downvotes.
Second place, I want to say was like 80,000 or something like that. Like EA, I don't know if that's like their big thing in the company is clear bars and achieve goals. Well, if their goal was to become the most downvoted thing in history, they achieved it. And this is after them being voted 2 years in a row the worst company in the world.
I mean, yeah,
Like-
they've been working towards this for a while now. This isn't something that just happened. It's constantly throughout the years, everyone's been like, EA, stop. You are ruining
Yeah.
games. You are trying way too hard to get money. You need to stop. Like, I mean, look at, like, what, Sims and stuff. Sims
Yeah.
2, Sims 3, for all of the editions, it's still $20 per edition. It hasn't dropped
Yeah.
at all, and they've got Sims 4 out now. Like,
And then you look at games like, you look at Mass Effect Andromeda, which a lot of people are saying that wasn't 100% EA. Some people are saying, okay, that might have been something EA, but please don't do that because it fucks up everything the way it looks.
Oh, does it?
Send photos and shit. Yeah, it fucks it up.
Okay, I'll do it somewhere
It'll go
else.
back to being normal in a second. Yeah.
That's annoying.
But it's like, a lot of people are saying, EA had a pretty heavy hand in Andromeda being built with the B team in tow because they wanted BioWare to focus on Anthem. And then you've got them getting Respawn immediately after they got Visceral and killed Visceral, which was the guys who Respawn came out of. And it's like, it feels to me like EA
Respawn.
could be this amazing company because of how big they are. And if they were to just keep their noses out of the game-making process and keep their noses entirely in the financial space,
They do well for themselves.
they would do amazing because they'd be able to fund games and these companies would be able to make amazing games, but EA doesn't fucking understand this.
No, they have the complex that they have to intervene. They have to make sure they're getting what they want out of this. And it's like, okay, you want money. If you make a good game, you're gonna get that.
Exactly. You look at games like like Mass Effect 3, which sold extremely well, and besides the ending, it was praised to high heavens for being an amazing game with an amazing story. And that to me was a good example of EA having some push, with them being like, hey, you guys should probably toss multiplayer in there, and they're like, what a great idea.
Exactly.
But it feels like, yes, this is live. It feels like it just feels like they just fuck up too often,
And, I was actually talking with Phil about this earlier this week.
Mm-hmm.
There is ways to do the loot system right. Overwatch is a good example. Shadow of War is another great example because they do have that in there.
It's not a great example.
To you.
It's an acceptable example.
They
toe the line, but they make it so appealing that you feel like at a certain point, and they made the end game. I can vouch for the end game. It's getting to the point where it's getting so difficult that I really kind of want to, but they got right up to the line. They didn't cross over by leaps and bounds like EA did.
Like EA always does. Let's be honest.
Well, this last one though, that was so.
Oh yeah, that's
well.
And
true.
it's really interesting because that brings the question: can you do loot boxes effectively? And I think Blizzard has shown that yes, there's a way to do it.
Overwatch, Heroes of the Storm, like all the games EA has.
Yeah.
Even like in Hearthstone, they have loot boxes, but it's the card packs. They have ways for you to build up to that. It's like, oh, hey, here's 3 quests a day. You get so much gold from these quests. You can use this to go buy packs. Boom.
Right.
Awesome. I don't have to spend my own money. Now, do I want to probably get ahead? Yes. Do I need to? Not as much. Unless I'm in the competitive system. Maybe then I would say it's a little bit more, yes, you have to pay sometimes to win, but at the same time, there's also very good strategies you can make with the lower-ended cards that work really well, as we've seen in some of the tournaments they've had. Yeah.
I think that, if you're going to do a loot box system, you got to make sure that you do it with cosmetics only, I'm not saying lock every single cosmetic in the game behind a box.
No.
Because that's not fair to your players who can't afford it.
Off.
But put your high-end cosmetics or your really fun-looking ones, the ones that make people go, oh, wow, I want this thing. Make those the ones that go into the box. And because the boxes, they feel fun. I'll be honest. When I open an Overwatch loot box,
we appreciate you.
I'm excited.
Is there a chat going on?
Yeah, there's a chat going on, man.
We're on Twitch.
I know. I've got the Twitch chat on. Let me reload it.
Do you got the Improper Factions one on?
Yeah, I thought.
All right.
I'll reload it. I just noticed you guys talking, and I'm like, who are you talking to?
But shit.
Okay.
But yeah,
so as the cosmetic thing.
Yeah.
To me, the best way to do it would be, you can lock certain stuff, but make it unlockable in the game too. Oh,
right.
Shit. No.
Like if you toss a ton of hours into if you toss a ton of hours into a game, the devs should be able to reward you for that. It shouldn't be something that you're getting screwed on.
Exactly. Yeah, like
I mean, I've got hundreds of hours into fucking Destiny 1 and Destiny 2, and I feel semi-rewarded sometimes.
Sometimes, and then the other times you just, you realize it's a masochistic tendency, and
yeah. But
same with League of Legends for me. Because
Yeah.
I mean, dear Lord, I've sunk more than
There we
1,000 hours into that game, and you know, I have a lot of skins. I don't need them, and you don't need them to win, but they are really
Right.
great to have, especially some of the really expensive ones that have really nice cosmetics to them.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
Or you-
Who
yeah,
cares
or
about
you-
skins? Like, really, if you really
That's
think
true.
about it, like it's a thing because they put the work into it and they want people to like it, and there's a sizable section of people who do like the cosmetic things. But at the end of the day, that shouldn't define like the game. But for some people,
Right.
And
it
it
does.
doesn't. I agree with that. I love skins, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, I agree. It shouldn't define the game, and it doesn't define League of Legends. Like,
Yeah,
you can ask the community, and they'll be like, "Yeah, skins are cool, they're great," but it's how you play the game. It's what how are you using your character? How are you using your stats? How are you using your items? Stuff that is in the game that you can change on a dime, because you can go back to the store and you can completely like sell everything you have and get all new items and completely switch your playstyle right in the middle of the game. It's not recommended, but you can't do it.
Right.
which
And I think that's something. Go ahead.
that's nice freedom too. That's all I was gonna say.
Yeah. My only question with this is how much longer until we get Nintendo to start doing loot boxes?
I think
I'm waiting for
I don't know. I think Nintendo is so dead set on doing it their own way.
Yeah, I don't know
Namely,
if they will. 'Cause
Their approach to YouTube and Let's Plays, like that's already way out of left field. Nobody understands why they're doing it. I don't know if they're going to do loot boxes, but they did just start doing DLC though, right? Like
yeah,
legit
they
DLC.
did just start doing that. Yeah. Speaking of all that, though, that's one of the other topics I want to cover. Was Nintendo and YouTube monetization. So, what if Nintendo was better at allowing creators to stream and play their games? Because
You ask too much, sir.
I feel like that's gonna be the rolling the rolling theme of all my questions is you ask too much.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to talk about it though.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because
Oh.
that's a
right now,
tough one.
YouTube's head of gaming thinks that Nintendo can work better with creators on monetization.
Oh, definitely.
In September,
Yeah,
I
you think-
100% agree with that, because, dear Lord, like, we have had problems back when
Yeah.
we were the old channel, trying to get it to work and everything, and we loved doing the Smash Brothers, but
Yeah.
holy crap, was that a pain and a half to do.
Yep.
And-
From there, though,
It's like we could never have hoped to put it on YouTube because it would have instantly been flagged. Like, no, we don't want that. And I think in the long run that hurts them more than it helps them.
oh yeah,
Because yes, a lot of like the older generations grew up with Nintendo, but a lot of the younger generations are growing up more with Xboxes, with PlayStations, with these other gaming systems, and so Nintendo isn't as big as it used to be. Because like I remember when Nintendo was the only gaming system you ever had to have. Like the
Mhm.
PlayStation, okay, that was a nice little addition, but the frickin' Nintendo with Mario and all of their games, that was like, why would you need anything else?
the
Right.
problem is that you almost
Thanks for the follow, Burton.
got to is marketability. They're not
Mhm.
getting the free advertising that they should be getting because
Yeah,
they're
They won't
stopping
accept it.
the commercials that they don't even know or they don't even have to pay for. It's ridiculous. That's part of the reason I'm pretty sure Nintendo's fallen so far is because nobody even knows they exist anymore because nobody's allowed to do their shit. That's
Yeah, and just to show how bad it's gotten, with their creators program, which launched back in like September 2015, it's been around for a while. So YouTube earns 60% of a cut from a typical YouTube video.
Mhm.
Google, which is YouTube's parent company, takes the other 40%. If a YouTuber belongs to Nintendo's creator program and uploads a video with the Nintendo content, and they're part of the actual Nintendo creator program, they'll earn even less because Nintendo and Google each take a piece of the proceeds, 70% for channels, 60% for videos. And it just seems like why
Why even bother
I mean,
at that
we've
point? You're not making enough money to
exactly.
keep yourself afloat.
It's only an extra 10%, but that 10% makes a difference.
It does.
yeah.
You know, you're looking at, out of $100, if you earn $100 in video, you're looking at, you know, earning between 30 and $20 or 30 and $40. I mean, it just you even got, you know, guys who aren't gaming channels that just refuse to show anything Nintendo, like the Philip DeFranco show. They refuse to show anything Nintendo related.
Can't risk
literally, yeah, they just show the logo, the big red logo up in the top right, and that's it. Like, okay, you can't get us for that. We can show your logo. That's all.
Well, yeah, he's been dealing with demonetization issues just out of the blue anyway. He's not going to give them any freebies.
Yeah. And I mean, and that's the thing, because, you know, you have the big named YouTube people. You have Markiplier. You have you used to have PewDiePie. You have Jacksepticeye. I know is pretty big right now, and they play a lot of these games. And you had Game Grumps, who huge Nintendo fans. They say it in every video, but they can't play the games. And so all of their followers are like, oh, well, we'll just play, you know, this is a really cool game. We should probably play this. Well, it's on Steam. It's on Xbox. It's on PlayStation. But what about the Nintendo ones? It's like everyone looks at Breath of the Wild and it's like, well, you know, I don't want to buy this. I want to see someone play it. And then Nintendo's like, no.
Nobody plays it.
Yeah.
They're
and so they
missing
never
out.
buy it. They never buy it because of that.
It goes back to that free advertising, though. And, you know, you could argue with some of these larger AAA games, like, I know Persona 5, they had Atlas, the guys who made it, they had a limit on you can't stream past X, Y, and Z date in the game, or X, Y, and Z point in the game. And I don't understand why Nintendo, if their worry is showing story, because, I mean, how many Nintendo games really have story besides Legend of Zelda, but... I mean, if they're worried about showing story or a specific gameplay, then basically put a blanket ban on you can't show anything past this part in the story, or this date, or this X, Y, and Z. And Atlas showed them you can do this.
Yeah, like, I mean, you know, if you had, like, take Twilight Princess, for example, with the whole, like, you know, and if this is spoiling for anyone, I'm sorry, but this game has been out for years.
But I never finished it, though.
Shut up. You know, Ganon possesses Zelda as, like, one of the final bosses, and you get, like, this weird gray-skinned Zelda that's really freaking creepy in a lot of ways. You know, and I can understand them not wanting to show that, because this is one of the first times they've actually done something like this. So it's like, okay, well, hey, you can do up to maybe, let's say, you know, the bridge fight with the guy on the bull.
Mm-hmm.
Stop there. We can't go any further. You're still getting the advertisement, and people are still looking at it being like, wow, this is a really good game. I like the story. I like the art. I like, you know, the controls. I'm going to buy this game so I can finish it and see what happens later.
Yeah. Have you guys ever bought... This is a great question even to chat. Have you guys ever bought a game because you saw somebody else play it on YouTube or on Twitch?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd say for me, I wouldn't have gotten Persona if it hadn't been that.
There, like, I mean, Stick Fight the game, I was actually showing Phil it because Achievement Hunter did a video over it.
Yeah,
I saw one of my friends saw Markiplier and his little group do it, and they were like, this game, it's simple, it's stupid, but it's hilariously fun stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And I own it now. We've played it, like, I think I've put around 25 to 30 hours into it already.
You would.
And it's a lot of fun, and
it does look fun.
And they had,
and it's all because you saw somebody else watching it.
And you know, I would have never discovered this game without it. So for me,
seeing actual gameplay, that helps. It's like you're not seeing any sort of pre-rendered trailer. You're just seeing what the game is capable of. I bought GTA 5 and Minecraft solely because it looked fun when other people played it.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't play Minecraft that often, but I still play GTA every now and then. But I don't regret buying either one.
Trevor.
Right. And it's really... I mean, I just lost my train of thought. Never mind.
That's gonna happen.
I'm to the point now, as far as Nintendo's concerned, I kind of forgot the Switch was even a thing, just because I've been I'm busy with life, but I've been focused on Xbox games. And then Brandon randomly bought one, and it's like, oh, it looks kind of fun, but I still like, he's not fun to watch, so I don't really watch him play.
No.
So
Well, and that's because of the Dark Souls training. But yeah, but yeah, like he was asking me on the trip yesterday, Super Mario Odyssey, is it fun? That is why I'm still into Nintendo as much as I am, like, honestly, is because I have friends like Ken. You remember Ken, Phil, right?
Yep.
Like, the biggest Nintendo nerd you will ever find on this planet Earth is one of my best friends. So I can just go over to his house and be like, hey, what new games does Nintendo come out with? Oh, well, let me show you, friend. And I'm like, okay, this actually looks pretty interesting. I might buy this.
Yeah, they know how to make games. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
They're fucking good at it.
And here's something that I think that, is kind of a thing that I see in comment sections. It doesn't matter where I'm at. Is every time that I hear, somebody posts out like a list of these are the best 10 games on the Nintendo Switch, people go, Nintendo has 10 games? And it's because, I think, partially because Nintendo
Nobody knows.
does not. Because
honestly,
Nintendo doesn't let you play
you
any
just
of
said
them.
Nintendo had 10 games, and in my mind, I was like, wait, there's already 10 games out on the Switch?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. That's why I'm confused. I'm like, oh wait, there's Odyssey.
They have third-party support now. Skyrim's coming out on the Switch.
I was like, thinking
Shadow of War, I think, is coming out on the Switch, right?
Odyssey.
It's like 12 Skyrims.
Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, and I know Splatoon 2 is out, so that's on Switch. What the fuck else is on the Switch?
Exactly, and I think if Nintendo were to take the stick their streaming stick that is wedged up in their ass, and pulled it out of their ass and let people actually show off their games, that's a lot of free advertising. And I get it. Nintendo's very isolationist. It's a company way that they do it. But they've got to adapt.
Okay, so the devil's advocate thing, I've sort of started this argument before. They are a Japanese company who, for the most part, only focuses on their Japanese audience, and they don't really know how to interact on a global scale. That's the argument I've heard put forth. So in Japan, they're gods. There is no and Japan has become such a consumer society, even by American standards, that they don't necessarily need the rest of the world to be a successful company. So they just kind of don't mess with it. It just kind of sucks that the rest of the world gets gypped when it comes to, quality Nintendo content and support, because they'd be huge if they actually embraced, the current year's technology.
Yeah, I mean that would definitely help. I mean,
a little bit.
To answer your question, Burton, yes, the DS had a Call of Duty, but that was not the example. That was not the consistent thing. Yeah, they had a Call of Duty, but it wasn't very consistent that they had something like that.
Oh yeah, I played a couple Call of Duty on the Wii. I played World at War and Black Ops, I think, on the Wii. So yeah, they did. Had to think about it.
Yeah. So with that, I guess it kind of leads into the discussion I want to have of how many more Skyrims are we gonna get?
I mean,
we've already got 5. Why don't we go for 27? Right?
Yeah, there was something somebody posted. They're like, next thing you know, we're gonna have Skyrim on the microwave, and I typed out the longest thing. It was like, look, everyone, we have a big announcement today. Thank you very much for coming to the Elder Scrolls conference here in 2018. This is something that I know everyone has been wanting to have. This is something I know we've been requested a lot, and we've heard you guys. We've heard you on the internet. You guys always in the comment section are asking us for this. And we wanted to announce that Skyrim is coming to the microwave. That's right. Just simply hit the buttons and we're gonna get it in the microwave.
John Cena walks on stage.
At this point, I'm not going to be surprised if I see it.
Yeah, well,
it's getting over the top.
Skyrim on your microwave, Skyrim on your, the screen on your fridge that they have now.
with the way technology's going, I mean, it's only a matter of time till you get like, bubble busters or whatever on the fridge while you're in there cooking. On the microwave.
Google Glasses are going to make a comeback, and Skyrim is going to be on them.
I hope Google Glasses don't come back.
Google Glass. No, that's the thing. I'm waiting for Skyrim to come to AR stuff. I'm absolutely waiting for it.
See, Skyrim on virtual reality stuff would be a really cool thing. But,
it's already out.
But is it? I did not know.
Yeah, they just released it this week.
But like,
that's
honestly
it's
at this point, I know they have Tamriel Unlimited and everything, and that's great. I've played it. I love that. I know you love that.
It's my go-to stream right now.
They need a 6. They need to get off of Skyrim, and they need to do a 6th one. That is...
Well, they've talked about this a little bit, and they've said that there's one in the works. But they're saying it is still in the concept phases.
And I'm fine with that. But they need to stop focusing on remastering, re-editing, like, all this shit for Skyrim. It's like, you have Skyrim, the Master Edition, the Legendary Edition, the Enhanced Edition, we didn't know what we were doing this year, so we decided to make this even better edition.
Which,
like,
I mean, from a business standpoint, yeah, they're working on 6, but it's so easy to just go through and optimize a lot of stuff and add a few extra things and then resell it because people will buy it. That's just constant revenue that they definitely, that's a good return on investment. And it lets them continue focusing on the actual development of going into the next game. And Rockstar does a similar thing. They're working on GTA 6 right now, sort of, but they've got Red Dead 2 coming out, even though it's like their secondary property. But
yeah, and it's just it's to the point where on Black Friday I'm getting myself a PlayStation 4 because I have to own Persona 5. But I'm probably also, just for shits and giggles, going to grab a copy of Skyrim because why not? I've got it on my PC. I've got it on my Xbox.
Why the fuck not have it on your PS4 too?
I might as well have it on my PS4.
Complete the collection.
Exactly. I want to be able to look at my game case. Yeah. I want to look at my game case and I want to see 3 copies of Skyrim and just go, why?
Yeah, it's like the pieces of Exodia. You get all 3 pieces and then you win at life. That's how it works.
Wait, if I buy all 4 pieces, or if I have all 3 pieces,
yeah, but there are only 3
if I get all
consoles
5 pieces of Skyrim, if I get all 5 pieces of Skyrim, do I get Skyrim 6 or Elder Scrolls 6?
Yeah, you have to do a summoning, and you have to sacrifice your younger brother and an arm and a leg.
Okay.
If you don't have a younger brother, you have to make one.
Whoa.
So, yeah. All right. Never mind. I've been watching a lot of Bates Motel, so that went really weird.
If you can't commit to this, Cole, you don't deserve Elder Scrolls 6.
I love Bates Motel. That was such a good show.
Oh, shit. All right, so next topic I wanted to talk about was the fact that basically everyone is getting sued right now. Every company, it seems, is getting sued on whether or not loot boxes are gambling.
No.
Which is a question. What if loot boxes are ever considered gambling?
In what context would they be considered gambling?
Why would they be considered gambling, though?
Because you're putting money towards an unknown quantity.
Oh, okay. Maybe. Well, okay. No, I still don't get it. It's like
I still don't get it.
I understand where they're coming from that point, but at the same time, it's not gambling because you're losing money. But is there really any, return of money either?
No, there's not. That's why there's no standing for it.
And it's not like they're, tricking you or anything or, underhanding you like some places do. You know what you're paying for every time you open a loot box from somebody. It's it's going to be 4 random items. In some cases, 2 of them are going to be common. 1 of them is going to be a rare. 1 of them might be a legendary. But you know that you're going to get these 4 things, and from there it's like, what do you get? It's always going to be different. It's not really gambling so much as it is you're paying to try and get ahead. It doesn't always work, but it does, depending on how much money you have, it eventually will.
Even then, go ahead, Phil.
That's interesting, because if we're talking like lower level stuff, like Shadow of War, I mean, that's nobody really cares about that. But the upper stuff, like League of Legends and any of those actual multi-million-dollar industries as they've become, those like rare items actually have some value to them. So if you're talking at that level, where if I put like $10 into a loot box and I don't get something super rare, and it's entirely up to chance, it's like a 1 in 100 chance or something like that, an argument might be made that it's closer to an exchange of currency and that you're not actually getting a return for your investment.
Yeah.
So maybe, but I think it's more of a...
But
it's a bad thing for the industry that it's gotten that far and that there's so much value attached to it.
Yeah.
Not so much that it's any sort of gambling thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, because you use League of Legends as a reference, using them as a basis for this, they've kind of done as much as they can towards that, because they have all their events, they have stuff like that, and they added what you call hex tech crafting, and you get these little gemstones that can give you new skins, new shards, whatever you want, and you have to collect 10 of them to get like a skin. Well, there are other ways besides just through the boxes that you get by getting like an S or something on a certain character. Like they have during the events, you can buy something and you're guaranteed, maybe 1 or 2 gemstones. And then they had like for Chinese New Year, you got these 3 idols, you could turn them into a gemstone. You could do this, you could do that. So in that sense, it does kind of start to become a little bit like gambling in a way, but is it ever going to turn into like they can actually like say it's gambling 100%? I don't see it happening. Not at this stage. Now, something could happen that could change that, but at this point in time, I don't see it.
Yeah. And the only reason I brought that up is because China I want to say it was about 6 months ago, they basically said to Blizzard, look, if you want to sell your game in our country, you need to be fully disclosed about the rate at which you can earn anything in the game through your loot boxes.
That's fair.
They said that's going to protect you from being considered gambling, because then you'll know your chances of winning anything.
Yeah.
And as long as there's a guaranteed chance of one thing, we're not going to hit you with being gambling, which, I mean, I think Overwatch...
That's what I was kind of assuming would be a rule when I was talking about it. If they don't disclose it, if there's a chance but they don't tell you what the chance is of getting an ultra rare or like really powerful item, then you're kind of putting money in because you are addicted to it, not because you think you have a chance.
Right.
Yeah. And
then go ahead.
Yeah, there are ways to do that, like going back to League, because they do a lot of this shit. They had this whole little thing where they introduced 2 new skins, and it was like, this is the Order, this is Chaos, and they had like, you could get so many tokens from each one, and you could use this one, and you could buy this orb, and oh hey look, if you buy this orb and you open it, there's a chance you could get this skin. And it's like, okay, well, what are the chances? They're like, well, there is a 1 in 50% chance that you'll get a shard. There is a 1 in like 20% chance that you'll get 2 gemstones. There's a 1 in like 0.5% chance that you'll get this, actual this actual skin that you want. And so for me, I was like, no, I'm done. I don't care about this anymore. I'll just go with the gemstones because that's a lot easier to do, and that won't cost me money.
Yeah, if it gets that confusing, it's not worth investing in. Like that's them adding layers, more obstacles to the end goal just to trip you up and take advantage of that.
Yeah.
So that's not cool.
But I mean, I did enjoy that they covered their tracks that way, because that instantly for me was like, I really want this skin, but at the same time, I'm not putting money towards this when I know there's that low of a chance of return.
Yeah.
Now,
Right.
that doesn't stop everyone, because there are people who will put thousands upon thousands of dollars because they want that one item, and I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
that is not worth that much money at all.
As long as
No.
casinos still exist, gambling will exist, and that's exactly what you just described right there. That's
Exactly. Exactly.
like nobody's gonna. Yeah, that's a problem. So that
All right.
that's probably gambling.
Yeah.
But if it's a
Right.
simple thing, I don't see why. As long as you know your chances.
And yeah, and like I said, that's why I didn't consider it gambling, because the chances were right there for you. You have a 0.5% chance of getting this. If you want to spend the money to try, go ahead. But your chances are very slim, and we're telling you this up front.
Right. So the next question I had is, what if there was a gaming smartphone? The reason I bring that up is the Razer, you know, the company that makes
Mm-hmm.
everything RGB for computer parts. They just released a phone that they touted as being the smoothest for gaming, for online gaming, which is kind of weird to me because it feels like Razer, the PC guys, are going, okay, maybe this mobile market actually has a chance of being something serious.
Okay, so is it just for mobile games, or like can you actually get like can I get my Steam games on there? That's
No, it is a phone. It is first and foremost a cell phone. So when you
so
have
it'd be mobile.
it is an actual Razer phone. It's got the full Razer backing on the back, but they made it ground up to be for games. Like, and
What is-
just a couple of
I don't. What does that even mean? If it's still a phone, then you're basically just making a smartphone with a faster processor, more RAM,
Yeah.
good Wi-Fi capability, so you can play online. You're just really making a super smartphone that
A
is
super
just by consequence
Yeah.
is good at playing games. I don't know if
Now-
you can market that as a gaming phone or smartphone. Or
Now, the
something.
reason that they're saying it's a gaming smartphone is because they put in special software into it that detects if you're running a game application versus a standard application. When a
Okay.
game application goes on, it switches into their gaming mode, which goes, it switches the refresh rate to 120 hertz, which is for incredibly smooth graphics. Like, even the higher end gaming games on smartphones right now looked buttery smooth on it. Plus, they did like a graphics coprocessor with the RAM system that they have in there, and it just makes it better. And you can make, and this the funny thing for me is, you can make full calls on this. You can, I edit videos, I edit photos with my phone, and that's the entire reason why I bought my phone, is because that's what I do for a living. Is I edit video, I edit photos.
Yeah.
And it feels weird in that they made a phone specifically towards the idea of gaming, but it doesn't feel too weird when the phone I bought was made specifically towards, towards business, essentially,
I mean,
towards editing, towards
in
all
this
that.
day and age, especially, yeah, you're gonna have that where you're gonna have phones like yours that are more towards the business, towards editing, towards stuff like that. Then you're gonna have videos that are more like, hey, this phone focuses on the camera. Yes,
Mhm.
okay, we still have the call feature, we still have, you can get apps, but what we really interested in is the camera. Like, you had, what was it, the iPhone like color or whatever it was that had like the frame shots.
Yeah.
And
Or the Nokia Lumia 1080 or something like that, where it had like 149 megapixels or
Yeah,
something
exactly.
obscene like
Like,
that.
you
More
could-
than most
you
cameras
could
have.
tell they were focusing just on the camera when they built this phone, and the phone just kind of worked itself around what they wanted it for. So the whole gaming phone thing doesn't surprise me, in the sense that I kind of was actually expecting it to come eventually. Now, Razer, I love Razer. I have a keyboard from them. I'm wearing a Razer headset right now.
Not a sponsor.
Sponsored.
There, no, not a sponsor. Not a sponsor
Hashtag
at all.
sponsored.
But I have a lot of Razer stuff. They're a very good company. They do make great stuff. So the fact that they've made a phone that makes mobile games, run buttery smooth and stuff like that, that's great. The biggest problem with that is you're going to start getting people who are like, well, because like me especially, there are games I play on my phone, but there's not really any that have like grabbed my attention and kept.
Right.
And that's going to become the big thing is like, great, we have this wonderful phone that, is a gaming phone. It works great with gaming software. It recognizes this and, it ups its ante. From here, what does this mean for the gaming market on mobile devices?
Right. And that's would you ever buy a gaming phone?
No.
Is that something important to you? No.
No.
Why wouldn't you buy a gaming phone?
Like Josh was saying, there's people who need a phone for the camera, like smartphone for the camera.
Mm-hmm.
I guess there's an audience for people who want like a gaming phone. My smartphone, I like having a computer in my pocket that I can look up answers to questions I have. That is the most important thing to me.
Yeah.
So I play like 2 games if I'm very bored that I've got on my phone.
Blown Tower Defense.
Yes. That's pretty much it. I have another game, but I don't even play that much anymore. But no, all I care about is being able to find information, maybe, watch videos. YouTube. I don't watch full shows like some people do. So a gaming phone to me,
I do like Netflix on my phone.
The only reason I use Netflix on my phone is to go through and find a show that I will then look up on my Xbox when I'm actually trying to watch it.
Well, see, you don't really travel though. I like what in the past 5 months I went to Missouri for a family reunion, and then I traveled to Florida for a week and a half.
Yeah.
And,
You're right.
My gosh, having Netflix on both of those trips was a godsend, because there were times where I'm not, I'll admit I did not want to spend time with my family, but that that happens.
That's gonna be me Thursday.
But but no, I will love Thursday. Thursday is food. Food is wonderful.
My schedule got fucked.
Yeah, and it works with kind of I guess I have the same thing, is that when I look at a phone, my issue with a gaming phone is I don't game that much on my phone.
Exactly.
So when I'm on my phone, I'm taking photos, I'm taking video, I'm editing those photos, I'm editing those videos, I'm running 3-4 different applications at the exact same time, and I'm quickly clicking between them. I have to download documents, I have to upload documents, I have to have a stylus to be able to sign my name onto documents and stuff like that. Like,
for me, I'm reading a book.
Yeah, I run my business through that phone.
Mm-hmm.
And if the gaming phone were to allow that 120 refresh rate, and it were to have a really high-end pixel on the screen, or pixel count, and the screen was just the best, and the camera was the best, then yeah, I'd buy it. But
it sounds
you're cornering yourself onto a market.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's trying to find a specific market, and I don't like that idea, honestly.
And that was my whole point was, like I said, they make great stuff, but I think they jumped the gun too soon on this, because mobile gaming itself hasn't progressed to the point that you need a phone to, do this stuff that they have this phone doing. And so will maybe this jump mobile gaming to where it needs to be for this phone? Potentially. Do I see it happening soon? No.
I don't know. You talk to Nintendo about it. They want to get into the mobile gaming stuff.
Yeah, they do, and they made a good go with that Mario Run, whatever it was, and that was a lot of fun to do.
Yeah,
but they fucking Nintendo'd it by screwing it up with
that's what
by
I was
screwing it up and making you pay for everything besides level 1.
Yeah, you get level 1 for free, and then you have to pay for everything else, and it's like
Nintendo. I'm okay with paying for a game. I'm not against it.
But,
I'm not okay with you teasing me by taking your bra strap down and being like, yeah, this is what you get, And then as soon as I go for a reach, you're like, oh, but you gotta pay me $20.
Pull out a credit card reader,
Yeah, right.
or it's on the strap itself. Like, why is
there
this
you
not
go.
moving? What is this? What is
Wait,
this for?
why won't this move?
Like, maybe you should try your credit card. Why would I do that? Yeah, I don't know. I'm completely cool if they want to charge for stuff if they're going to put the work into it. But make it clear.
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause
you gotta be upfront with me on it.
mobile games, like, I mean, you can even see in the way that they're made. You have a mobile game studio versus an actual video game studio. The amount of time, effort, energy, everything that are put into each one. Mobile gaming, okay, maybe a week. Actual video game, sometimes years.
Wait, are there
Sometimes
mobile game
multiple
studios?
Years.
There are mobile,
Like cell phone
Mojang.
mobile
Or
games?
not Mojang. Who am I talking about? Zynga, King. Those are the guys who made Candy Crush and all those.
Candy
like
Crush wasn't made
that's-
in like an hour by some dude who just threw it online and forgot about it? That's honestly what I thought. Like, it's such a stupidly addicting game. There's
These
nothing
games-
to it.
These games take a lot of time to make. Like even mobile games.
perfect.
Gaming's
Not to me.
yeah, to perfect, I guess. Yeah, not to make. That's the hard thing I think that a lot of people don't understand with modern games is that they take forever to make. And yeah, I know it's getting faster and it's getting better, but it just seems insane sometimes that people like, why'd you have to push this back? And they're like, because it's not ready. Like, why don't you just release it unready like everyone else? Like, because then you'll bitch about it.
Yeah, because then you'll be back in this fucking comment section next week saying how we didn't do our jobs properly and that we suck as people, and that's very hurtful.
And that you're going to do things to our mothers, because that is a lot of things that I see in.
My mother is a
Oh,
lovely
yes.
lady, and I don't need you threatening her. That's why I delayed.
Dorsey
the release date.
Mantooth is a saint.
That's exactly why.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Whereas that kind of comes back around the whole like $60 max for a base game, and then everybody complains about it when they want to get microtransactions and extra DLC and season passes. It's because the company knows they can't charge more than $60 for the game.
Because they'll freak out. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a very stingy audience.
Yeah. Now,
And
this is the thing,
yeah.
though, and there was an article I was reading exactly about that. If games were to stop selling physical copies, they would actually be able to charge $60 and be able to give us all that stuff for free.
It's
And
on
I
its
mean,
way.
Because
And I mean, honestly,
it-
at this point in time, I would be 100% okay with that, because I have my Xbox. I love my Xbox. I love digital copies. Oh my gosh, my brother can't get his little grubby fingers on my games and tear the ever-loving crap out of them anymore, or smudge them to shit, and I can't play them anymore. God rest your soul, Overlord. I loved you as a game. I am so sorry I let my brother touch you once.
There's two audiences for that. There's some people
Yeah,
who really like the physical copies, like Cole and Brandon.
I would be okay if they kept doing the collector's editions of games. Like I'm that guy. Yes, you want to know who those collector's editions are for? It's me. Just look behind me. There, it's all here.
No
Yeah.
problem.
I'm the guy who buys the collector's edition.
really likes the
because
statues.
I like the statues. I like the books. I like the physical in-game items in my hands.
I mean, I'm
and
not
it
gonna
just
lie.
feels
I love
good.
the art books. Oh my gosh, some
Yeah.
of those things are wonderful.
But you can get those separate though. The
Yeah,
only
and I
purpose of the
I
collector's
wish that
edition is
they were to start.
it's exclusive. Like you feel like it's
Yeah.
exclusive, but it's not.
I know. I just like the idea, and I would be okay if actually Elder Scrolls Online did this with Morrowind. They had it to where when you bought the collector's editions of the new Morrowind expansion, which yes, their expansion got a collector's edition, and even though I owned the game, I bought it. And I owned the previous collector's editions of the game, so
Yeah.
that's a thing.
You have a boner
so-
for Elder Scrolls, we know.
I got a boner for Elder Scrolls.
And a boulder.
Got a
boner.
boulder.
Specifically for Elder
But-
Scrolls.
Specifically. So They did include, though, it was the game. They actually gave you, it's the game itself. It's an actual physical game. And then your Morrowind expansion was a downloadable copy.
Mm-hmm.
You just typed it in and it went. I think it'd be really cool if games were to start doing that to where you can pay $120 for this collector's edition, or you can pay $100 and we'll make sure you have a digital version of the game, not ship you a copy of it.
Oh, that would never...
I would be okay with that.
Yeah, but that would be... There's no way. They charge the same price for a digital game as they do for a physical game right now. And the thing with the digital games is they don't depreciate, which means they can consistently charge $60 over the lifetime of not just the game, but the console until the next one comes around.
Yeah.
They do, some of them do go down, but if it's even remotely popular, like I think GTA, it's been out for, what, 4 years? And it's still like, when it's not on sale, it's still in like the 40 or 50 range.
It's still in the 50 range.
Yeah. It's like 30 right now, but for a game as old as it is, even 30 feels really high, and that's when it's on sale.
Yeah.
So,
but, I mean, in retrospect to that, though, there's so much to GTA. Like, it's a game they've continued to build on. It's a game they've continued to grow on. Because, like, you go online now and you look at GTA when it first went online and GTA Online now, holy shit, the difference.
yeah, actually, GTA may not be a good example because technically it's kind of keeping up with its physical counterpart. But other games, for no reason, they're still full price, even though they've been out for way too long and nobody really knows about them. So I don't know. I don't think it won't be a conscious thing like what you described, where it'd be 120 for the physical copy, 100 for the digital, because they would just say, "Oh, it's the same game, though." And I think production-wise, there's probably not a big difference, so they'd be negligible. But I do think it's going towards a pure digital environment. It's just you can't force it.
Yeah.
If
people are going to naturally adopt it.
Wasn't there something about like a company was trying to release something digital only, and then they had to readjust and do it physically?
I know.
I'm thinking of it a certain thing. I can't remember what it was.
Are you talking about Minecraft on consoles? Rocket League.
Minecraft
I don't know.
Count,
I don't
though,
know.
But that came from a console thing.
Yeah.
Because it did go digital, and then they finally kind of released it physically to kind of get more people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, you can't force it through like some companies really want to do. No, it's when the Xbox came out by itself.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
They were,
I
like,
remember.
They were real big
you're
on trying to get people to go digital only, and they had the whole like DRM thing with used copies of games. That's what it was.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so we all repressed that.
Yeah.
Like,
which
good
it's funny
consumers.
because, and I got downvoted to hell on Reddit when I pointed this out. A lot of what they were talking about in that keynote ended up happening within 5 years.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, it's going to be an online-only console. And people are like, no, fuck you. And then it's like, oh, wait, every single game requires me to be online now, even my single-player games.
Yeah, they said they were fixing it because people didn't like to just accept that was the future. Microsoft knew.
Microsoft knew exactly where it was going, but they got shit on for it.
Yeah, and I mean...
Appropriately, because they tried to force people to go along with it. You can't just change the paradigm by announcing it. You don't have that kind of power.
That's true. I'll give you that one. But they should have done it a different way, yes. But they were right 5 years ago when they said it, because now you look at it and everyone's just like, oh yeah, no, that makes complete sense. Everything is online now, you know. My achievement, like, you can still play games offline, but if you want the achievements, motherfucker, you better be online, because otherwise you ain't getting those.
You don't get the achievements if you're not online?
No, not all the time.
I mean, now next time that you log in online, you'll get the achievements.
Yeah.
In a giant batch.
I didn't actually know that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm exactly what they wanted. I never get offline anyway, so
yeah.
That
exactly.
it's not a thing that even affects me.
Yes, Phil.
Yeah.
Enter the machine.
Basically,
yes.
we're all part of it. Like, we're just consumers to the video game industry, That's kind of what we're talking about.
Exactly.
But yeah, when they try and announce that something's going to be completely different, people don't like change. Of course they're going to fight it.
All right. Well, that's the end of it. We're actually at an hour now,
Oh.
so we're going to go ahead and wrap things up real quick. Just wanted to say thank you to everyone who tuned into us live on Twitch. We do this
Thank you.
every other week at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We were a little bit late today, but
yeah,
whatever.
little.
Um,
We'll get better.
but we'll be back on in 2 weeks. Next podcast is what's 2 weeks from now? I'm pulling it up
December
on my
2nd.
phone.
December 2nd.
Nope, December 30th.
December.
Or wait,
What?
no,
December.
October 30th. October 30th.
I don't know.
Next
if you know
podcast
how
will be
double
October
weeks
30th.
work.
It'll be live on Improper Factions Twitch channel, Improper Factions YouTube channel,
We meet December 2nd.
and
December.
no,
What?
it's the 30th.
Because today is November 18th.
October 30th. Or November 30th.
What are you looking at? It's November 18th. 2 weeks from now is December 2nd.
Today's the 16th. Oh, you're right. I'm wrong. It's
December 2nd. We will be
December
back.
2nd. I'm entirely wrong. I'm an idiot. December 2nd.
You are misleading our audience.
I am so sorry.
Sorry, everyone.
I'm going to go ahead and I will be linking our Twitch channels down below. I'm Filmsmith.
I'm Recon
Gosh.
Monkey.
Oh, is this where I'm Snickerbrain? I'm on top.
Yeah, and we all stream on Twitch on our own different schedules.
Try.
And we will be back on in 2 weeks.
Bye, everybody.
Yep. All right.
See ya.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.